Rolling. Uh, Ready, Art? One, two, ready, and
Yo, 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 yo! What up, man? Welcome to Mezzo Forte! That's right, Bartos and the Superman. We're chilling out with the crew. We do have today's edition. We got a familiar face in the house. There's a guy who's walked the walk. He talks the talk now. It is our own fan favorite, Coach Osco. Oh my God, that guy back! Yes, it's that guy. And as always, our fearless host, Danny BMD. What up, man? Good to
Yo.
see you. And me, of course, your amateur hot man, Superman Art. We're going to be talking a lot of sports. We're doing it Celtics style. So without further ado, let's get into it. Take it away, Dan.
yo. Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz. Coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, to your ears. Remind some sports time for your free time. What up, this your host, Danny BMD. How's everyone doing, and how did your team do this week? So again, we have Coach Tosco in the house. Everyone put your hands. Of course, it's been a while. You know, he does have a hats and a shirt today. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So we're gonna do some late night news, guys. So obviously it's gonna be kind of weird this week because you know the holidays. On Thursday, I know most of you guys are actually off. You're gonna be mostly with your families, or hopefully, you guys will still be watching us. But we are gonna do like probably like a, I think when's the Cowboys game? Tosco, like at 3, right? 3, yeah. So yeah, we might do like a 1, maybe a 12 noon, just a special, just to kind of do like just some Thanksgiving, talk about all things Thanksgiving themed sports stuff or whatever. Should be pretty cool. Should be really quick. Just we're all with our families and stuff, so we'll definitely have to do that. But just like we can, the whole crew can kind of sneak in. We'll talk about that later. But thank you guys again so much for watching us and following us here at Mezzo Forte Sportz. Again, we do have here at Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube live. Definitely gonna talk. We'll talk some football. Talk some college football. Go UTSA, of course, undefeated still. We're at the game. We'll definitely check out the Facebook. I think it's on Instagram as well. And I'll definitely post it. The last play of the game, dude. It's epic. Unfortunately, we don't get to respect. We're not Power 5 and everything, but which I'll talk. Also, we'll talk a little bit more about the effect of that game. It was way more than just a win. For right now, is probably a bigger win, honestly, for the future. Tosco, talk to us, bro. Bless us with your voice. How have you been, man?
What's up, boys? Glad to be back. I know it's been a hectic couple of months. I know I haven't been able to get on for a while, but I got some time now, and hopefully I'll be able to be getting on more often. Weekly. How I used to before, and but it's glad to be back. Glad to come and share. Some champ merch.
Nice.
Right? I wasn't here. You know how bad I wanted to find to get on the show when they won. I was dying to get on the show and just fucking rag on all those basketball fans.
We could have had the perfect segment for you, too. It would have been Tosco's Tomahawk Talk.
Yeah,
Hey. That's not racist.
Yeah, so, but it's been good, man. The Braves won the championship.
Nice.
Cowboys doing good. Fantasy football has been so great to me, but we live and we learn. But glad to be back. Glad to shoot the shit with you guys, and hopefully we'll get into some good shit tonight.
Nice. And obviously, super fan Art. We obviously love your voice forever and ever. How you doing, man?
I'm doing spectacular. Good to be here with you, gentlemen, on this lovely Tuesday evening. Just a shout out to all of our fans out there, viewers on whatever platform. Give us a like, subscribe. If you're gonna hate, go ahead and hate. Just keep it clean. And if you comment, maybe we'll try to do some on-air live comments if we can. We'll be viewing those on Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. But no, it's been a great evening. The weekend has been great. I made a nice trip to SA. Got to visit our host Danny and our other buddies Evan, Juan, Ariel, and company. We caught the UTSA game. What ending of that was. We'll cover that much later on. Uh, Other than that, Spurs could use a little bit of help.
Here we go.
My
Here
Longhorn,
we
he asked how your team's been, and I'm gonna say most of my teams actually lost over the weekend, with the exception of them beautiful birds of UTSA. Texas lost, Spurs lost, hell, Cowboys lost. Every Houston fan, congrats, you had a win. Celebrate. Tell me when you're gonna have that ticker take parade to celebrate that win.
go.
Uh, but no, it's great. On this evening, we got a couple of things to watch. I know at the moment I'm watching UCLA and Gonzaga, the respective number 1 and 2 in the college men's hoops. Right now, UCLA doesn't look like they were from last season. Uh, they're behind pretty badly right now. But it doesn't matter. It's how you finish the season and brackets and whatnot come March. So this is just like, it doesn't mean much. But no, it's great to be here. Glad to see our good friend Toshko back in the studio. Hopefully to see him a little bit more sparingly in future episodes. And maybe all of our other buddies, Albert, Adrian, Eddie Molina, Seabass. So here's hoping. But no, it's great. Great Tuesday show that we have in store. A lot to talk about. Dosko's got a whole bunch of topics I know that have been swirling around in his head for weeks. He's just waiting to unload all this sports trivia and news and opinions, and we were just dying to hear every word of it. But before we do that, Danny, how you been over there in the studio?
been, been pretty good. Excuse me, sorry. Been pretty good. Just been honestly, with my allergies been killing me, and honestly, most of my teens have been killing me too. So I don't know which one's which. It might be both. My heart is just broken. I don't know, dude. I I'm a super fan, and it's just one of those. Like my shirt says, bad vibes moment right now. That's why I'm wearing this good vibes shirt. But no, I'm doing pretty good. Just so you know, my teams have been kind of not doing so good. Just looking towards the future. Quotation
Okay,
mark.
Danny, I'm here. I'm here to give you some hope.
Looking towards the future. Quotation mark. No, honestly though, like if you're a Cowboys fan, don't even you don't. I mean, this game don't even trip. The Kansas City game that wasn't even like I don't know. Everyone was hurt and everything. The Cowboys will be doing good. I think the NFC is as competitive as ever. And we'll talk about that as well. But all right,
Yeah.
guys, we'll go ahead and move right into it. What do you want to do first, Superfan Art?
I think we might have a very heavy football centric show. So why don't we just knock out the round ball as in basketball? Uh, just knock out a couple of quick headlines from around the NBA world. How do
All
you
right,
feel about that?
all right, let's go ahead and do that.
Nice. So there's obviously been a lot of developments over this weekend. One big one that we saw suspension wise. Just We got a few games that are currently going on as we speak.
Oh,
You had the Heat visiting Detroit. Detroit was obviously down one person. You know who it is. They lost. The Pistons lost. The Heat won 192. A lot closer than I thought it would have been. Lakers were also down a man, nameless, when they lost against the Knicks, 106 to 100 earlier this evening. And then currently, as we speak, is the Trailblazers hosting the Nuggets and the Clippers and Mavericks. Not a bad game if you're one of the Mavs fans. Pretty decent Western Conference potential matchup in the postseason. Uh, Maybe that could be a preview for that. Uh, Tomorrow, if I think one of the few gems of a game tomorrow is the Celtics and the Nets. The two juggernauts of the East going to face off. Obviously, Nets don't have Kyrie. The Celtics just got the services of Mr. Jalen Brown back. He returned just recently, and from a hamstring injury, not 100%, but they did get some decent minutes, 19 points in 23 minutes when they beat, what did they beat? They beat the Rockets 108 to 90. So that's already a step in the right direction for the Celtics. Um, Other than that, let's cover some of the main headlines. Obviously, the whole LeBron and the Pistons Isaiah Stewart scuffle. It was pretty much. I'm pretty sure if you got some kind of technology, you were foretold what the hell happened because this was just the elbow that was heard around the world. Now Isaiah, he's like a young guy. He's 20-some years old. People were like, he was a bit of a hothead, being having to be restrained. I think it was a little intentional. I saw the video and LeBron was boxing out, and he kind of looked a little bit in Isaiah's way. He wanted that good peripheral to get that good aim going, and he just sucked it to him. He was apologetic afterwards. Didn't matter. Both guys got suspended. Well, Isaiah for 2 games, LeBron for 1 game. The monetary difference was outstanding because Isaiah, he won't be paid like 45 some $1,000s. LeBron, he gonna miss out like on 200 some $1,000. A drop in the bucket, but to us normal guys, that's a lot. So, with thoughts on this whole scuffle, and everyone's got their own opinions, and I'd love to hear them. We'll start with our coach Thosco on this whole LeBron saga. Go ahead,
Well,
man. What are your thoughts, man?
well, I think I do believe that it was intentional. You can see
Yeah.
that he looked, he threw that elbow back, he missed initially with the elbow, and then extended the arm and hit him and basically punched him in the eye. Hand
I
open.
thought
So like what? Because people are like, no, he did like a little flick of the wrist, but it wasn't a
Yeah,
flick of like.
he did this, and then it wasn't a flick of the wrist. He did this, and then he extended the
Yeah, I
arm.
was gonna say, yeah, like
But
no,
his
it was
hand
like a
wasn't
hit.
closed.
Yeah.
It wasn't closed. It was like this. His fingers were open. So I think it was more of a scratch.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
I think
like
if anything, he was trying to maybe push him out. Maybe.
maybe. I think maybe that's what it was.
I mean, it
Maybe
was
he
still a
trying to
foul.
push,
Yeah.
but he caught his eye, and
Yeah.
they cut him. He started bleeding, but I think Art was right on there. He said it was intentional, and I think I understood Art, and I think a lot of people were saying like Isaiah Stewart was too excessive. Why would he keep on going, and why did he? But I think the Pistons are a young team. The Pistons are a young team, and I think Isaiah Stewart I think he kind of did it to send a message type of situation. They have a lot of young guys on this team, and they have players that kind of need that motivation, or maybe not motivation, but they need that, hey, that sense of this is what the team is. They don't want to be like, oh, we got the young guys here, we're gonna dominate. We got the number 1 overall guy. We got the guy they have Kate Cunningham.
yeah.
They have Luca Garza, who was the All-American center. They have Killian Hayes, who's the number 1 pick last year. Like, they have good players, but if you look at their team, they really don't have a wily veteran or a veteran that they can stand on. Like Kelly Olynyk, Corey Joseph. Like, these guys are already past their time. Like, they're not really. They never were a leader or one of the main guys on a team. And I think Isaiah Stewart kind of was doing it in a sense of, hey, you know what? We're going to be a tough team. You're going to come here in Detroit. We're going to be hard-nosed. We're not going to let you push us around. I don't give a shit who you are. Best player in the league, most expensive team, all these old guys. You're not going to come here and push us around. And I think that was maybe a message that I think maybe he was trying to send. Because obviously, like, okay, at the beginning, you go after LeBron, you say some things, you're going back and forth, you're hot-headed. They take him back, and then he runs back full court. Like, some of that was intentional. But I think it was more of a, hey, you're not going to come here and do this. You're not going to come here and act this way and think that you're going to push us around whenever you want just because we're a bunch of young guys.
Well said.
And I think that the suspension, LeBron 1, Isaiah Stewart 2. I mean, if you're going to give Isaiah Stewart 2 because he kept on running on the field, on the court, like, imagine how much worse this could have gotten. We could have had a Madison and Palace Part 2.
Bro, I mean, honestly, honestly, like that was that was like crazy because it wasn't once, it wasn't even twice, dude. It was
No,
like it was 3 times, dude. Like the third
Knocked over
time,
assistant coaches
yeah,
and
the third
stuff.
time, I literally thought he was gonna go at him, dude. Like I literally thought, like I was like, dude,
and,
it's over. Like
Just let him go. Let him go. See what happens.
and yeah, at some point it's like, you know what, like this guy,
right where you now. Where I was like, dude, honestly, I would just be like, bro, honestly, put your hands up, like, and that's
like
it.
this guy's running
That's
over
it.
his coaches. He's running
Yeah,
over security guards. Like this guy,
do it.
he's not like a. It's not like he's me or you, 5'8", fucking
No,
slow.
no, no,
You're talking
no.
about an athlete. You're talking about a giant human being that's strong. And that's what he does for a living. Pushes guy around, uses athleticism to get up and over guys. Like I'm not gonna stand in this guy's fucking way, you know. And he wants to get to LeBron. Hey, LeBron's a big 7 foot, muscular,
Two
tough guy.
sixty. He's 260, dude. Like
I mean,
muscle,
I don't
all
understand.
muscle.
And he's hiding behind his teammates. Like, what are you doing,
Behind
dude?
security, bro. Behind
Hiding
security.
behind security. Hiding. His teammates are all in front of him. Like, what is this? Like, and 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 like this morning, Stephen A. Smith. It's just like he's already getting to a point where okay, dude, yeah, like you're just saying stupid shit to get attention. Like, oh, LeBron isn't
Why?
feared.
Why?
He said that nobody in the NBA has ever feared
Oh
LeBron.
yeah.
Yo, we mentioned something like that.
Oh,
And
didn't I tell
JJ,
you? Did I? I
Yeah,
think I told
we
you. I
talked about
told
it
you,
earlier
Art.
this afternoon.
and
Yeah.
he told that to JJ Redick, a
JJ
guy who
Redick.
just retired,
Yeah.
who has played in the league. He probably came in around the same time LeBron did, just retired, and he's gonna tell JJ Redick that he was never feared. Like, are you stupid or what? Like, God, it's just like the way, like, and don't get me wrong, LeBron is feared because of how talented, how athletic this guy is. Now, I'm not saying LeBron can't beat up anybody or can't take a guy or can't go gangster, like, not denying any of that. But then if that's the case where, uh, LeBron is, this guy that's being feared, going to JJ Redick's point, then why wasn't Isaiah Stewart afraid? But again, I think it was Isaiah Stewart trying to send a message. He probably knew he was never going to get to LeBron. He knew that no, he was never going to touch him. But just to send a message, hey, you don't come here. If you come here, you're not going to fuck around.
And I
You're not
think
going to push us around.
I think also I think he might have just kind of like snapped a little bit because he saw blood, dude. It's because
Yeah.
like once you see blood running on you, I don't know. Like I feel like I mean, unless you're like obviously in boxing or like
Yeah,
those
it's a
sports
sign of
that's like
pride.
yeah.
I think in
Nah,
street hoops,
I don't
it's not a foul unless there's blood.
I don't necessarily think it's pride. I think it's just like dude, this guy just made me bleed. Like I think it just I feel like he just kind of snapped a little bit, where it's like, hey, dude, like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like no, like he's like no, 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 like I just, you know,
And
and
at
people
the same
and
time,
people, how people are like just not just athletes, but just people in general. Like when they see sign of blood and stuff like that, like already. Because I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just like it was just one of those like he just hit him right in the spot or whatever.
but again, it goes back to okay, do I just let it slide because it's LeBron James? Like, think about it. You see LeBron James at HEB, he goes, he has his cart, he turns, he hits you with his cart. Maybe he did it on purpose, maybe he didn't. But because he hit you, you say, oh, it's LeBron James. It's okay, dude. It's okay. You just killed my Achilles. Don't worry about it. You're good. Like, no. I don't care
Yeah,
who
yeah,
it is.
it's true. It's true.
You hit me, I'm going to be pissed. Like, just because it's LeBron James, I'm supposed to be like, hold on, it's okay, LeBron. It's okay. You can knock me out. Don't worry about it. No, I'm not going to go up to Mike Tyson and be, hey, Mike Tyson, knock me out, dude. Fuck no. It'll be an honor to get knocked out, but I don't want to feel that pain. I don't want to go through that.
But what? Okay, well, they're saying, okay, going back to like Stephen A's like point, right? Because he was saying how like when you played MJ, you feared MJ or whatever, right? When you played like a Kobe, like you fear Kobe and stuff like that, right? And LeBron apparently didn't. You respected him, didn't fear him. I don't really know what the difference is because I heard it too. I was like, wait, I was like, he's respected but not feared. I don't know. I want to say like the whole because the whole killer mentality and stuff like that, right? Like I guess they want to kind of emphasize that,
I think I
but
think the fear is,
you know
and
what
I
I
but
mean.
yeah, I know I agree.
But
I
okay,
get what you're.
but okay, we're thinking about that, right? If
Uh huh.
like I mean, because we're in a different era, right? Because LeBron, MJ got hit, dude. Like during those times,
Oh
like
yeah, of course.
I mean, because clothesline and stuff like that, like it wasn't no like mid ranger just chilling. Let me just floater, No, like you had to, it was different. But
Yeah,
you think that like if it was because LeBron like automatically went away, he didn't like say whatever, and people are like no he did the smart thing because technically he did do the smart thing, whatever. Tensions flare up, bro. It's just or emotions flare up. It's one of those things. But they're like if MJ there or Kobe was there, it would have been like different. I don't know if it would have been like so much. Nothing would have happened. I don't think anything would have happened because the NBA is gonna protect their stars, like their star. But like
but
I don't know. What do you think? Should LeBron have done more? I guess that's the question. Would LeBron have done more? Did he do the right thing?
I think
Or
I
what do you
think
think?
the being compared to MJ or Kobe, I think is different because okay, if they were feared because if I talk shit to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, this guy's gonna get the ball and he's gonna throw down 40 and he's gonna embarrass every single person on the court, and it's gonna be disgusting. And that's why they feared them. LeBron James has, not to say he's never done it, but he's never consistently done it since he was in Cleveland the first time. When he came in and this guy's winning games with a bunch of garbage ass players on his team and making stuff happen on his own and taking over games and winning. Once he went to Miami, he took himself out of that discussion because, well, LeBron doesn't need to carry the team and score 40, 50 points and win games. Now, don't get me wrong. There were times that he did it, right? Dwayne Wade wasn't playing. Chris Bosh had an off night. But he didn't have to do it consistently. Goes to Cleveland, again, Kyrie, him, Kevin Love. Like, he has players. He has teams to spread the ball out to. Comes back to the Lakers. Look at what he has, right? And people may say, oh, well, they don't have badass offense. They don't have all these badass scores. Yeah, but they have badass defense. So he didn't have to do much. These last few years in LA, but I guess getting to that, comparing those players to him now is completely different because I don't think LeBron, you can look at him and say, hey, talk whatever smack you want, and then he's gonna afraid that he's gonna take over a game and afraid that he's gonna embarrass you. I don't think LeBron's that person anymore, or at least hasn't shown it. He's still one of the best, but is he the best player right now in the NBA? No. And I think that is the difference. And now he just wants to look. I think it was intentional, and he wants to look like the good guy. Oh, let me step back. Let me not get involved. Let me not do this. But realistically, he was a part of it. He did it on purpose. And people are going to argue, no, he didn't. But I believe, and a lot of people believe, he did it on purpose. And, and now he has to get suspended, whatever. But to him, this, like Arturo said, it's a drop in the bucket. Doesn't matter to him. So,
What do you think, Art? Why does that sound weird like that?
Let's see.
All right,
Are we muted?
can you hear me?
I think it's feedback on your end.
Yeah, hold on. That's what I was trying to fix earlier. Can you guys
That's
hear me?
all good. No, I think it was deliberate. Video evidence cannot lie. If you keep looking, you'll see he clearly was looking at Isaiah to get better aim, and he sped up his arm to make contact with the dude's face. Suspensions were upheld. It is what it is. It's a learning lesson for everybody else in the league on how to handle such situations. And this guy Isaiah Stewart, he's going to learn, control his temper a little bit better. or maybe I mean, everyone's like, this could have been a Malice in the Palace Part 2. Uh, it's valid to say. But another term that is seldom heard anymore over there in Detroit is the bad boy Pistons. Maybe this could be the small little seed that could sprout out into a new attitude era for them boys over there in Detroit. Who knows? It'd be exciting to watch if they did something like that back again. But I don't know. I don't care about either team, Lakers nor the Pistons. So entertaining though. We got us
and
talking about
hopefully,
it.
and hopefully it's something that does give the Pistons. They have a good young team. They have a good core. Bringing some good veterans in. You never know what can happen with this team. Kate Cunningham's a star. He's going
Yep.
to be a future NBA star. Jamari Grant is already good. You know, Luka Garza can turn into something. A big guy. Luka Garza is like a Robin Lopez, Brooke Lopez, 7-footer that can shoot threes, shoot from perimeter, can get in there, get blocks, get rebounds. It's Brooke Lopez. Look how long he's playing the league. You know, if Luka Garza can learn how to adapt a little bit, be better defensively, he can be in the league for a decade. And Isaiah Stewart, young guy, Killian Hayes, young guy, a good talent. So best part that came out of all of this is they play each other on Sunday and they all are going to be there. So that's going to be great.
That's right. Both LeBron and Stewart will be available for that matchup. We'll see if tempers are still hot when
Probably
that game
highest rated game in the NBA this season, probably. Everybody's going to watch.
Nice. Good stuff. Good family fun for everybody. Lakers Pistons, round 2. Ding ding. Other than that, before we continue on, just for our folks here in the state of Texas.
Test. All right.
I can hear you pretty good, Danny.
All right. There we go. Test. There we go. My bad, guys. I don't know. I was trying to fix something earlier because it was. I've been trying to update a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, what we're saying. All right, go for it.
No, we just kind of like did our closing arguments about the Lakers Pistons, and Coach Stoska says it's going to be highest rated game to see that rematch between the two teams when they happen to meet again on Sunday. I want to say,
yes,
awesome, good stuff. For us fans here locally, we got the Atlanta Hawks 9-9, 11th and 8th Eastern Conference, facing our very own San Antonio Spurs 4-12. Tomorrow evening, I think hosted by the Spurs. So if you're out there in the San Antonio region, maybe you get some tickets to that one. Atlanta will be attempting to prolong its 5-game win streak with a victory against our own Spurs. Spurs currently are at a 2-5 at home. They have allowed 110.0 points to opponents and has been outscored by 2.6 points per game. The Hawks are 1-8 on the road. Atlanta ranks third in the league with 3-point percentaging, shooting about 36.7% as a team from downtown this current season. Skylar Mays, he leads the team with shooting at 50.0% from that 3-point range. Some of the top performers from either side. Our very own Doug McDermott, he is shooting 43.9% from beyond the arc. Is he averaging about 10.4 points per game? DeJounte Murray averaging 18.3 points per game. 8.1 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 2 steals over the past 10 games for San Antonio. The dude's been putting in overtime and then some. Trae Young, on the other hand, remember that guy? Well, he's shooting 37.7% from beyond the arc. 2.6 made 3-pointers per game. So this is what, his second season, Trae Young?
I think so.
A little bit of a...
No, Trae Jones.
Third.
Trae
Young.
Trae Young for the Falcons has been in the league for like 4 or 5 years already.
Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks.
I'm like,
we're still talking basketball.
My bad. I'm not.
No. Yeah, but the Spurs do have a Jones. I think they have a Trae Jones.
Yeah, they Jones. My bad. I'm tripping. Dang, dude, they haven't been doing good this year.
And it looks like Doug McDermott will be out. Jock Landale will be out. And Zach Collins is out for that game. So we just gotta be healthy, man.
Never mind. God.
It's tough to watch.
It's Danny, crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Danny, How many games? Be honest. Do you think the Spurs are gonna win this year?
Probably like 20.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
Maybe like
Um,
16. 16. I think
okay.
I think they're gonna win at least 15 games.
I was gonna say I feel that the over under is about 15.
Yeah, I think they'll win 15 games. But they might win 20. Like though, I don't know.
I mean,
I
they
think they'll
got the
win more.
Hawks. They got the Hawks. They got
Honestly,
the
dude, they're like
Celtics.
I think they're gonna battle for like the Lakers for the bottom seed now.
Don't. Why do you
Especially
set
towards
yourself up?
especially
Why do you set yourself up like this? Because then you're gonna believe that we're gonna compete for
more
that 10 spot.
more
I don't
anything
believe it.
more than no, we're not gonna, it's not gonna be competitive at all. But dude, they're gonna get tired towards the end. That's all I'm waiting for the Lakers to just like be
Well,
tired
I mean,
towards the end of the season.
sure, but that's
You
you're
think they'll-
fighting.
you
You're
think they'll
talking
make-
about fighting
you
for the
think they'll-
10 spot.
I was gonna say that you think they'll make the playoffs.
The Lakers.
I know they make the play in, but do you think they'll make the playoffs? The Lakers,
It
yeah.
depends.
The
It
Lakers.
depends who they play, but most likely, I mean, you gotta think about it like this:
Let's see. Let me see the standings.
the Lakers are gonna end up in the middle of the year. They're gonna end up trading. They're gonna sign. They're gonna get some free agents from other teams that don't want to pay these guys anymore, and they're gonna cut some of these guys, and they're gonna end up on the Lakers, and now they have some extra firepower, and that's how they're gonna get by. This Jerry, and so if LeBron's not there, they're not doing good. So, but the Spurs, man, it's just so hard to watch. When Doug McDermott is your best player, Jesus Christ. DeJounte Murray, he's gonna have to be let go. He didn't turn out to be anything. And you're looking at the Lonnie Walker needs to go. He's not doing anything. I mean,
But who do we get? Like, do we get picks?
no, like these guys.
Who do we get? Who do we get? No, that's what I'm saying. But who do we get? Right
Like,
now,
for those
yeah.
guys?
It's like right now, you're GM of the Spurs. Go.
But see, the thing is, okay, but yeah, you're gonna have to only get picks because think about a team that needs a point guard. You're gonna trade DeJounte Murray over there. They're
Yeah.
gonna see DeJounte Murray is averaging 18 points on the Spurs.
That's
The
what I'm saying.
bottom Spurs who don't have any stars, who don't have anything, and he's their leading scorer at 18 points. Like, if he's that good, he should be 30, 40. He should be Curry on the Spurs.
Well, no. But the Spurs, the Spurs is very, like.
I understand it's a different system.
Yeah.
But I guess
Because
what
it's
I'm getting
almost,
at is,
because he's almost. I mean, if you think about it, he's almost averaging a triple double. Like he is almost averaging a triple double.
sure, but again,
In
but
the
that's on the
Spurs.
Spurs.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, I think if you put him like, let's throw him in like, I don't know, Grizzlies.
You-
I don't
you-
know Grizzlies. I don't know. Maybe like, let's see, like.
You put him on the 76ers, okay?
Oh,
You put him on
okay.
you put him on the 76ers. You're not gonna get Ben Simmons for him. You're not gonna get a first rounder for him.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get some seconds. You might get a player, like a role player they're trying to offload. But you gotta remember the Spurs are gonna end up being a dumping ground. If the Spurs were smart, they start letting these guys go now, right? Start trading these guys where, you know what? DeJounte Murray ends up becoming, player of the week. Hey, you know what? He's got some value right now. Let's dump him. Let's get the highest we can get because they're not the future. DeJounte Murray's not the future. Lonnie Walker's not the future. The other guy, I even forgot his name. The guy that played in Team USA, Keldon Johnson. Not,
Dude, but they're
like
just so young. And that's fine. But I don't like throwing dice into the wind and like, oh, let's see if we can maybe get a good pick.
Okay,
Let's
but
see if we
again,
can maybe get some.
when
good
your
players.
GM goes and
We can
signs,
maybe get Tim Duncan. See,
But-
it doesn't work like that. Like,
When
right?
the
well,
GM
then tell
goes
me
and
how
signs.
so then how did the Spurs end up with Tim Duncan? They got lucky. How
Yeah,
did
they
the
did get
Spurs end
lucky.
up with
Yeah,
Tony
it was.
Parker? They
Well,
got lucky.
Well, I mean, Tony Parker and Ginobili. I think it was. I mean, obviously, it's like once in
And
generation
those
kind
and
of
those
players.
and
But Tim
but
Duncan
those
is
guys
like,
weren't even playing in the U.S.
that's what I'm
A lot of
saying.
people.
But I'm saying, yeah, because they had already experience. But Tim Duncan was like one of those like obviously generational changing like players or whatever, right?
Okay.
And
So now,
yeah,
my question to you is, okay, who was the last generational player drafted? Franchise changing generational talent.
probably
Who was the last guy?
probably
Like in your opinion, right? There's no wrong answer.
maybe. I want to say Giannis, just because he won a championship for them. Maybe.
Okay, but Giannis, sure, but I
Like for
think
that, I mean,
it
I
took
guess for
time.
them, I guess for like the team or whatever.
Yeah, no, but that's fine. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Giannis.
So Giannis.
Okay. Giannis came from
Uh,
Greece. Giannis spent about 3 or 4 years before he became the Giannis we knew. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't bad before.
yeah. I
But
mean, yeah. I guess that's like a bad example, but like this, that's kind
but
of
no,
from
no, no.
Milwaukee.
But
Yeah.
it's actually not a bad example. I actually like that you said that because
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is this. Let's say the Spurs next year, they win 15 games, they're in the lottery, they get a top 5 pick,
Yeah.
top 3 pick a Giannis. Let's just use that name, right?
Yeah.
They pick a Giannis. It's still going to be
Oh
another
wow.
3
Yeah.
to 4 years before he develops. And then think about the guys that they put around Giannis to become good. Remember, not only they got Chris Middleton, they had Brogdon before, right?
Yeah.
Had Eric Bledsoe before,
Yeah. Eric Bledsoe.
Brook Lopez. So now I'm asking you this: even when they got Tim Duncan, they had David Robinson.
Yeah.
What players did they sign? Who was the last big name players that they signed in free agency or traded for to be on the team?
The only one was just like LaMarcus, I guess, and DeMar. That's the only ones. Like,
sure, and that's great points. But since they drafted Tim Duncan, they never went after a big name free agent, never traded for any big names. All of it was drafts. All of it was homegrown. All of it were veteran free agent signings from other teams that were role players. Point being is, what I'm getting at is, the Spurs are not gonna get Giannis a free agent. They're not gonna get a Kawhi or Paul George free agent. They're not gonna get Kyrie in a trade. They're not gonna get Ben Simmons in a trade because that's not what the Spurs. And so it's gonna be a long time before the Spurs are good again. Unless, like you said, they hit on a Giannis next year in the draft in the lottery, and in 3 to 4 years we can start seeing that guy bring the Spurs back.
All right. That seems like we got some good hot takes in there about how the Spurs should proceed on forward with, I mean, as disappointing as the season is, we need to find some way to get them picks. In some way, shape, or form, no small amount of luck needed. We'll need to rebuild with some picks. It's going to be tough, Spurs Nation, but we'll get back in there.
And one last thing, Danny. One last thing. These guys, these new kids that are there on the team, these guys are not the guys that want you championship. That want San Antonio championship. So, not to be a dick, but there's no loyalty to these guys. There's no, but this guy was our first pick, and this guy was this, and these guys haven't done shit. So there's no loyalty. There's no, we owe them this. No, not these guys. They're just players. They're just numbers. Move on.
All right. In the spirit of moving on, let's kind of shift gears from the basketball court to the football field. Before we go into a little bit of the pros, which I know we got a lot to discuss, just really quick breeze through a little bit of our Week 12 recap of NCAA's men's college football. So some new developments, some new rankings that have been going since I think yesterday it was announced. Unbeaten Cincinnati joins Georgia Bulldogs, Ohio State Buckeyes, and Alabama Crimson Tide in college football playoffs. Coveted top 4 since Oregon Ducks. They slipped So for the first time in in the 8-year history of the football playoffs, a team from a group of five conference has cracked the top four in the selection committee's rankings, which would assure it a spot in one of the two semifinal games that will happen on New Year's Eve. Cincinnati is just one of three undefeated teams left in FBS, UTSA being one of them. Cincinnati is number four in those latest rankings released yesterday. Georgia number one, Ohio's number two, Alabama's three, Michigan is number five, followed by Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. As per their rankings that were released, or the final rankings to be released will be on December 5th. A lot of important games are going to transpire over this weekend. Perhaps we'll give a little update on that shortly. Bearcats, they jumped one spot ahead of Oregon, who was number three in last week's rankings, but they lost 38-7 at Utah this previous Saturday. Bearcats, meanwhile, they did their job. They pretty much stomped up all over SMU. Sorry, guys. 48-14 at home in one of their most impressive performances of the season. Cincinnati is still going to play against, on the road, East Carolina on Friday. A chance for upset, perhaps. That's 3:30 Eastern time. And then we'll go on to play number 24 Houston in the AAC championship game on the 4th. Other potential upset. Our boy Tosco, we were talking about it earlier, that he thinks this is just all for show. Cincinnati's just really put up there to warm up the spot for somebody bigger and better. Just give you a quick take on that, Coach Tosco.
Well, I mean, it's just you got to think about it. There's this weekend we got a couple of big matchups. Ohio State going up against Michigan. Let's assume Ohio State loses. Ohio State, number three, right?
Number two, actually.
Number two, they're going to lose to the number 5 team, right? So you're going to have people saying, okay, should Ohio State drop out of the top 4 when they lost to somebody basically in the top 4, right? So who's going to be the odd man now, especially coming from a Power 5 conference? That's just one. Two, you're going to have Oklahoma State. Both of them have one loss, right? But if Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma State is going to have 2 top 10 wins, one against Baylor, one against Oklahoma. They're going to have one loss, and they're going to be at the top of the Big 12, Power 5 conference. And they're going to say, well, if you're letting a 2-loss team in or a 1-loss team in, why not Oklahoma State? They have two top 10 wins. And then once we get further down the line and we have the SEC with Georgia versus Alabama, okay, Alabama already has one loss. And let's say Georgia, the number 1 team, beats Alabama, the number 3 team. Alabama's going to have 2 losses. Are you going to take up a 2-loss SEC team knowing that they lost to the number 1 overall team and they lost to A&M, who, whatever.
On the road, hostile environment.
Yeah. Point being is, who are you going to take out? You're going to have Georgia, who's obviously number 1. Okay. You're going to have Ohio State or Michigan. You're going to have Alabama. You're going to have Oklahoma State. And then you're going to have Cincinnati. Who's the one that's not a Power 5 conference? Who's the one that doesn't have any really big wins? Yeah, they beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame's the number 16, but realistically, Notre Dame is not really Notre Dame this year, right? But whatever. They beat Notre Dame. They have a top 10 win, but Oklahoma State has 2 top 10 wins, arguably in a way harder conference. Alabama, 2 losses in the SEC. You're going to take them out over Cincinnati? Are you going to take out Ohio State again, who their loss is against Oregon, probably the Pac-12 champion, who's in the top 10, 11. They're going to end up in the top 10. And Michigan, who's going to be a number 3 team or a number 4 team. It's all a show to keep Cincinnati to tell everybody, hey, Cincinnati's in, shut up, they're getting respect. But in a week's time, 2 weeks' time, Cincinnati's going to be the first one out. That's what's going to happen. If the cards fall that way, now hopefully Cincinnati, Ohio State beats Michigan, Michigan's out, we don't have to worry about it. Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State, okay, Oklahoma State's out. Oklahoma doesn't have enough to make it because they've been playing so bad. They're not going to make it in the top 4. So Cincinnati's best bet, Oklahoma wins, Ohio State wins, Georgia wins. Those three things happen, Cincinnati will be in the top four. But then again, these teams that they're going up against, they're in the top 10 for a reason. So anything can happen, but I think this is all show just for Cincinnati, the Cincinnati fans, the people that are, not to shut them up, tell them they're there, and then just get them out in a week's time.
Nice. I like that analysis. Basically, in long story short, Cincinnati at the number 4 spot is just a big PR stunt. Very, very susceptible to change. A lot of great games over the weekend. Very rivalries, a lot of big name rivalries. I think it's one of the more favorite of the regular season weeks. Is these big name Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and then the Ohio State, Michigan. As decades long rivalry. Should be a good one. There's even some Heisman hopefuls out there. I know Ohio State's Buckeyes QB CJ Stroud is emerging as one of the front runners for the Heisman race. Odds are in his favor, as per like Las Vegas odds, sports books, or whatever. I think he's one of the more front runners out there. Followed shortly by Alabama's QB Bryce Young. I think Stroud, he had a very impressive performance over Michigan State. They had a blowout, 56-7 routing. This previous Saturday, he was 32 of 35, passed about 432 yards and 6 touchdowns. Dude's just a freshman quarterback. He has already 3,468 passing yards and 36 touchdowns in this current season. Some other big names besides Stroud and Alabama's, what's his name, Young, is Oklahoma's QB Spencer Rattler. For a time, he could have been a hopeful. Mississippi's QB Matt Corral. Pretty much those guys are just lucky to be even on the ballot. So it's between the two QBs from Ohio State and Alabama, who are kind of the Heisman front runners. We'll continue with progress on our Heisman watch later on. Texas, they lost to West Virginia, 31-23. I didn't even get to watch the game. I think it would have been very difficult to digest. So that when that happens, well, Texas, they pretty much are eliminated from even having a possibility of a bowl game. Meanwhile, West Virginia can still try to get their own bowl game if they can at least win their last game. It's a tough one. Texas, they were down their star running back, Bijan Robinson. He was out for the rest of the season. It's just been a whole quagmire of problems that mounted ever since.
Before now that we have Tosco here. Tosco, do you think they should wait on Zark, or should they fire him?
No, I think that.
Thank you.
They can't fire him because then it's gonna look like a panic.
Right.
The thing is,
that's exactly what I'm saying, dude. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's dumb, cause no. You guys can't do it either. So pull the plug. Like, okay, well,
you gotta remember they lost 3 or 4 big games against Oklahoma. They lost against Arkansas. They lost all these games where they were winning. I don't know about Oklahoma, but Baylor. Yeah, I mean not Oklahoma, Arkansas, where they were winning, lost it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and they were close. They're putting up a lot of points, but again. And that's what he said, and I like that he came out and said it. Coming this offseason, I can get rid of 30-some players that are on scholarship and bring in my guys, my recruits, my guys that I want that are going to play the system I want. And that's what he needs. Zark is an offensive genius. You bring in his guys. Look at Bijan Robinson. That guy came in. Look at it. He's not necessarily the prototypical
running back. Yeah, I was gonna say he's not.
He's not a Denver Henry type.
No, he's you're like ¿cómo se llama este from the Chiefs, the old school, not the Jamal
Charles. Yeah, he's that more shifty, speedy. But look at how many yards he has. He's leading the country. Like,
yeah, seriously.
That's Derrick Henry numbers.
Yeah.
on a guy that's like that. And don't get me wrong, Jamal Charles was awesome, right? And he was. But what I'm getting at is he has and he had a true freshman quarterback in Hudson Card.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was a sophomore quarterback who had never played before. So, I mean, it's like he's playing with freshman guys. So you got to give him a year, at least 2-3 years. Like, need to get his recruits in, need to get these guys going. Do changes need to be made? Sure. But that could stay in-house. That's something that, you know what? Zark is a guy. He's going to come in here, give him a full year of season, off-season, recruits, bring in these guys. He's going to change things up and then go from there. Now, if he is putting off the same thing in his second year, now we can start. There can be talks of, is it really worth having him?
Yeah.
Or are we going to have to move on? But again, it's the thing. It's Texas. It's a high-profile job, whether they're good or bad. Who's going to come in and change it up? And what you're being going to offensive guys. So you're going to go for a defensive guy? You're going to get a defensive-heavy guy? You know? Or are you going to go with a new guy, an upstart, a guy that's, you know, offensive coordinator at some school, or, you know, because you can't bring in old recycled names, you know, so.
Yeah, you can't bring your Urban Meyers and stuff anymore.
And Orgerons, Urban Myers, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And to interject real quick, there's a lot of big name schools currently who are in the market for coaches.
Yeah, LSU,
USC, LSU, Florida.
Oh, Florida too as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's gonna be coaches
and it won't premium. And then when you're in an off season like this, when you got to compete against LSU, Florida for head coaches. Obviously, it's not smart to do that.
And USC.
You know? And USC. Fuck no. Like, you're talking about 3 other, you know, top high-profile, top-tier programs that you're going to compete with them for a head coach.
In a bidding war. Yeah.
In a bidding war. And you're going to overpay over a guy that you're not going to like and fire him in another 2 years. Hell no. You wait. You got to wait. And you go from there. But it's tough for Longhorn fans. I mean, it was a tough season. A lot of like, hey, they're doing awesome. They're doing great, dominating OU. And then, so, you know, once they get his recruits, they get another year in, I think he'll be fine.
Excellent. Well, the Longhorns are going to finish with a losing record, missing a bowl game for the first time since 2016. Losing streak for Texas is its longest since they dropped 8 in a row way back in 1956. But I wholeheartedly agree with you two gentlemen. Give Sarkisian the benefit of the doubt this first year. Give him another year to see what he can do with staff and players of his own liking and choosing. No need to panic. We'll just have to endure.
And again, like, I hope that these people are not going to come up here and think, oh, if we give him another year, he's going to have to win the national champion next year. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Like, you're going to give him another year to hopefully make it to a bowl game, have a winning record. Let's start there. Then you can go into, okay, let's get into a New Year's Six bowl. Then let's start getting into the top 4. Like, it has to be a progression. It can't go from 0 to hero in 1 year. I mean, there's times that does happen, but this doesn't look like one of those things.
Yeah.
So you need to progress. So you need to have, you know, level-headed goals here going forward with UT fans.
Exactly. And just to close out our college football segment, we got to acknowledge the bad birds of Bexar County. I'm not talking about Incarnate Word. That's UTSA Roadrunners extending that win streak to 11-0, historic 11-0, when they had that late come from behind with just 3 seconds left, game-winning touchdown to seal the deal against the University of Alabama Birmingham. The Blazers in a win, 34-31. We had the privilege of being an audience for that one. I think on some of our platforms, YouTube, Instagram, maybe even on Facebook, we posted some videos about that. I was there in attendance. Danny was there. Some of our good friends, Juan, my buddy Wap, Seabass was there. Ariel, our good friend Val. It was an electric atmosphere. The last home game of the season. We were very fortunate that Seabass hooked it up with them tickets. We're very appreciative of that. So just some reactions from the game. Dan, how'd you enjoy yourself, man, on that historic win?
It was cool. UTSA is gonna have a very bright future. Obviously, it didn't get respect, a lot of respect in rankings, which is fine. We're not really looking to go to the national championship this year, right? But hopefully they do win the Conference USA championship, start that huge jump into the next conference, so they can start making some damage. The reason why initially we were ranked in the first place is because we were scheduled against a ranked team. They're pretty high ranked. They're like 16 or 12 or something like that, and we ended up beating them. So I think that more than anything, besides UTSA, winning the championship, their conference championship, start scheduling, stronger teams and stuff like that. Tosco was saying, teams are gonna want to come to UTSA. Yeah, you have Texas, you have your A&Ms, you even have your Baylor's, TCU's and Texas Techs and stuff like that, right? That are big football schools, right?
Yes.
But now you have UTSA. UTSA is in San Antonio. San Antonio is, I believe one of the top, still 10 most, biggest cities in the United States. Not a lot to do, but they're still a big city where there's a lot of opportunity and stuff like that. So a lot of people just, it's like, I'm just gonna go. I'm from a small town in Texas. Might as well go to the big city, right? I don't know. And now playing at the Alamo Dome. The Alamo Dome is big and it's upgraded. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening. And now UTSA plays UT next year. That's gonna be interesting. So I saw some meme that was it Captain or Captain Phillips or whatever. Phillips, the movie. Where it's
Captain Phillips.
Yeah, it's like UT and a UTSA, and it's like I'm the University of Texas now. Like, damn.
We'll see, man.
Okay.
But no, glad your team is riding high.
No, we're ready. I am running a little high on it. I'm not gonna lie, but it's good. It's good for the city, dude. The city is extremely supportive. Not just going to the game, but just like in general, the mayor's going. Like, he's arguing with like not players, but like with other mayors, like on the, on Twitter and stuff like that. So it's like a really good vibe that the city kind of like, unfortunately, the Spurs aren't doing so good, but UTSA is, right? So we got to support your local teams, not whether they're doing good or bad, but most especially it gets fun when they are doing really good. Congratulations also to the players, and they are playing, undefeated season, and regardless of it's, whatever your opponents are, D1, college football is still pretty hard, to go undefeated. So congrats to the players, also to all the coaches and staff. It was pretty cool. It was really cool. We gotta definitely go. If not, if you don't have a chance, if you have a chance, go ahead and check them out. They do actually play on December the 3rd. Yes, they are. Like I said, they're actually going to the Conference USA Championship. It is actually going to be hosted here in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. I think tickets are not that expensive. They're like $20 for like general audience. So check it out. It should be a pretty awesome game. UTSA is obviously representing the West. I don't know who's representing the East.
Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky?
Oh, Western Kentucky? Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's going to be a pretty good game then.
Yeah, it was a high-scoring game. UTSA won by a touchdown back in October.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. So, yeah. So, there we go. So, definitely check it out, guys.
And y'all have the last regular season game this Saturday. You can at North Texas. So just to seal that 12-0 season, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game too.
Yeah, they're already in the lock for the conference championship. It's just to put the cherry on top of the regular season, and they close out then is it the Mean Green of Texas, North Texas?
Yeah. What do you think they'll score?
I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome for UTSA and for the students going there, and because we went there, we attended the University of Texas San Antonio, and when we were there, there was just talks of, oh, they might get a football team, or they're getting a football team in a couple of years. And we were there back then. to see it now and where it is now, and having, because they started, I think they're already almost close to a decade of existence, a football team, and to have, seeing the first guy get drafted or the first guy getting on an NFL team and then the first guy getting drafted. And then we had a first guy in the first round, Marcus Davenport, who got drafted by the Saints in the first round.
And then when one of the guys won the championship, it was a backup, but.
Yeah, no, yeah. But then, yeah, it was last year or a couple years ago. Oh, no, it was last year, I think, with Tampa Bay. We had a UTSA alum football player won the Super Bowl. Like, it's all these little stepping stones.
Yeah.
It's all these stepping stones that the university can use to bring in players. Because, again, you hit it right in the head then. You're in San Antonio. First off, you're in Texas. Texas, one of the best states for high school football. Texas, New York, Florida, Nevada, California. You're talking about the top of the top, high school football. And when you have, yes, of course, your 5-star, your 4-star players, they're going to go to UT. They're going to go to Alabama. They're going to go to Oklahoma. Yeah. They're going to go because it's the name, right? Yeah. But you have a lot of those 2 stars, 3 stars, and even kids that don't have any stars. And you can look it up, people. Go look up some of your best NFL players. They weren't star athletes coming out of high school.
Yeah.
They became better because of where they went, the system they were in, and how they worked their asses off in college and these smaller schools to get to the NFL. So when you have a student, an athlete from even Laredo down south, Laredo's not very high on football or having athletes that play football go to play football in the second level. If they do, they go to, Indiana, Methodist University in like Oklahoma.
McMurray University.
Abilene. Abilene Christian, Kingsville.
Like D2 stuff?
D2, FCS, D2, D3. But instead of having that option, this kid might be a better player than that. And now, maybe he decides to try and walk on to UTSA, goes and tries out to see in UTSA, and because it's an option now. And all those kids from San Antonio, which is one of the biggest cities in Texas, one of the biggest cities in the country, I think it's in the top 20 or top 30 in the country. Yes, the best are going to go, but you still have these high-level high schools. You got Wagner, you got Brandeis, you got Churchill, you got all Reagan, you got all these schools, Judson's around there, Smithson Valley's around there. You have all these schools there that, the best guy is going to go to the top school. But what about all the other guys? Can they be developed?
Yeah.
Can they go to a second, and not necessarily they don't need to go to a developmental school. They don't need to go to D2 now. You can go to UTSA, stay at home. You start seeing, hey, UTSA went undefeated. They're playing UT now. Now you're going to have these big programs start scheduling UTSA because they're going to give them a good game. And now it legitimizes them to say, oh, look, on their schedule, they beat, the 22nd ranked UTSA week 1. They beat 17th ranked UTSA in week 3. Now it's going to give weight. UTSA is going to give weight to some of these higher level programs that are going to play UTSA, and you never know. UTSA could pull off the upset. So it's all good for the future of UTSA having this 11-0, 12-0, hopefully winning Conference USA and moving on to the American Conference, American Athletic Conference. Because now in the American Athletic Conference, you're talking about that's where Cincinnati is, where they're top 4 right now. That's where Houston is, who's
SMU.
Also ranked. SMU, who's been ranked. East Carolina. You're talking about UCF, who to the UCF, they won a championship in 2017, a national championship with an undefeated season. They have Memphis, who's been ranked almost every year. South Florida, ranked almost every year. So they're going to a conference that's right under the Power 5. So, that's where UTSA is going. And this is a big part in the future of this program. These guys, they might not get in the future, get the team that they have now, the coach they have now might not get the full credit in the future, but this is what's making you, it's going to make UTSA football going forward. And now those big name kids from Wagner and all those kids, they might not necessarily get to say, oh, go to Waco to go to Baylor, go to Lubbock to go to Texas Tech, go to Abilene, go here. No, I'll just stay at home. San Antonio, it's badass. Why am I going to go anywhere else? I got everything here already. So it's going to become more of an option now. So it's going to be all good things going forward.
Real quick, just like some stats for you guys. For 2021 NFL season, so for the states with the most NFL players, so for Florida is actually number one, has 192 players from Florida. Texas has 189, so it's just on by 3. California has 168. So it's kind of crazy. Georgia is 124 and Ohio is actually 70. And the high school cities with the most NFL players is top 3 is Miami, Florida, with right now has 19 players. Houston, Texas has 18 players, and New Orleans, Louisiana has 15 players. So it's like kind of crazy how when we think about it. Right now the top top 5 high schools with the most NFL players. This is from, what is it, IG Academy? I don't know, from Florida.
Yeah.
And then Texas, Utah, Texas. So it's just kind of crazy. Including from DeSoto, Texas, and Allen, Texas. So
yes, those right now, yeah.
So it's like like you guys were saying, it's when you're in Texas, you have 189 players in the NFL is a lot of players, bro. So then they don't come like from the the big cities sometimes. Sometimes they come from like your Allen, Texases, and Longview, Texases, and like stuff like that, New Berlin, and like you're saying, like, why am I gonna go really far? Why am I gonna pay? Even sometimes it comes to that, Now you have NIL now. NIL changes the game too. Why am I gonna go to a really big school at UT? Yeah, I go to UT or go to UTSA. Or go to A&M or whatever, and I get what, 3rd, 4th, 5th, bench player. I never get to play.
That's one of the things, Danny, and I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of the things where you're starting to see in Alabama, and it's still not a lot, but there's some going on where I was a 5-star recruit. I was the best in my state. I'm going to Alabama, and I want to play, but I have to sit behind, if I'm a receiver, I have to sit behind 10 other 5-stars. They're only starting 3 guys. So by the time those guys get drafted, now I have to wait for the next batch. Then it'll be me when I'm a junior or a senior. Now I have only 1 year to prove myself. And these guys are starting to transfer out. Right now, in the transfer portal, there's no penalty. These guys are starting to go. They're starting to leave. They're not staying at these high-profile places because they're not playing. So that is definitely a huge thing. And that NIL money, of course, am I going to go be a bench warmer at Alabama, or I can go to UTSA, be the best guy there, be the star player, start every game, and get NIL money? Yeah, may it be a lot. Like, it may not be a lot like the guy in Alabama's getting, but hey,
but you're making it. I was going to say, but at least you're making it. You're making it, not the other guy. Yeah,
you were on the bench 3 months ago, bro. Like, it's okay that you're only getting 10 G's instead of 100. Like, hey, you're getting something, dude. You're playing, you're getting your name out there, and you're on a good team now. A team that's getting attention. And you're the guy that's the best guy on that team that's getting attention. I mean, and some of these players are starting to see that.
And now you might even get, maybe you won't get drafted, but there's the backup players. Look what happened to Baltimore, the Ravens. They had to reach. I mean, running backs, whatever, right? But they had to reach all the way to like past their practice squad. Like, god dang.
Yeah, they had to go to nursing homes to go get fucking running backs.
Seriously,
So,
like,
Pretty
so
much.
it was, like, and like you said, if these 5-star recruits, Jalen Hurts, look what happened to him.
Mac Jones, dude. Mac Jones
Yeah.
was I think he was a 4-star recruit out of Florida, I believe. And look, he ended up only playing 1 year. He played senior year. Luckily, yeah, he had a plethora of, badass receivers and a badass defense.
NFL players playing college.
Exactly. And so, yeah, he had a badass year, drafted number 1. Cool. But how many times is that going to happen? You might not get that chance. Now, think about it like this. You're behind Bryce Young. You're behind a CJ Stroud in Ohio State. Don't you think Ohio State has 5-star recruits, backup quarterbacks that are sophomores and juniors? And the freshman is starting? Get the fuck out of here. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? I want to get my chance.
Seriously. Yeah.
Oh, go to North Dakota. Go to UNLV. Go to UTEP. Go to UTSA. Go to Texas Tech. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. Because you're not getting to know it right.
I mean, you have your like Aaron Rodgers. Where's he from? You have your, Ben Roethlisberger.
Look at it. Ben Roethlisberger, Miami of Ohio.
Kirk
Rodgers,
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, Michigan State. Like these guys, yeah. Matt Ryan, Boston College.
Matt Ryan, dude. Matt Ryan's like, what? It's like, what?
Dak Prescott, Mississippi State. Like, a lot of the starters in the NFL did not go to Alabama. Did not go to Georgia. Did not go to UT. Did not go to these USC. Think about all the USC quarterbacks that were awesome. Carson Palmer, Mark Sanchez. They were all badass in college. Go to the NFL. Suck. There's no QBs from Florida. There's no QBs from Georgia. There's no QBs from Florida State.
¿Cómo se llama?
Oh, Jameis. Sorry.
Matt Ryan.
But
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford went to Georgia. You're right. I'll give you that. Yeah. But that Georgia team wasn't even that great.
They wasn't great. He was the only good one. The only good thing that happened to that team. Yeah.
It was him, and I think they had AJ Green, and that was it. Like, but again, like there's a lot of the quarterbacks did not go to these big, places, and Danny Dimes, I forgot his last name.
It's Daniel Jones.
Went to Duke. Like, come on, dude.
Go Duke!
Oh my, got fired. Like, what's his face got fired?
Yeah,
You're not segue into it.
As I said, just in closing, long story short, things are looking up for UTSA. Great for them in the city. Very loyal fan base. Hopefully things will continue on that upward trajectory. Going to a new conference in a few years. New prospects from around the state or out of state might start to view it as a viable option to play their college careers. So we'll be looking into how they do in their conference championship in a few weeks' time. But now it's time for the final segment of the evening, which is our pro football talk, our Week 11 recap. We had a couple of surprises over the weekend. Namely, started with the Patriots. They won 25-0 against the Falcons on that Thursday night outing. Carson went to the Colts. They beat up on the Bills, 41-15. Who saw that? Lamar Jackson-less Ravens barely lasted against the Bills, 16-13. The Browns survived against the Lions, 13-10. The Texans, they pulled up a weird upset against the Titans, 22-13. Aaron Rodgers, he couldn't get the W. It was a very close matchup. Lost 34-31 against the Vikings. Our Cowboys, unfortunately, they lost, but didn't mean a thing. Short turnaround week for them to go again on Thursday when they play against the Raiders in the afternoon. But they lost against the Chiefs 19-9. And I think the only other, Bengals beat up on the Raiders 32-13. Not a big surprise. The Steelers, Chargers. I thought that was a bit of a snooze fest at the beginning. Oh, the Steelers did come back towards the second half and almost even pulled up that win. But Chargers persevered, 41-37. And then yesterday, everybody knew the Buccaneers were going to beat up on the Giants. Beat up on them so bad, they fired Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator. Uh, but I mean, everyone was like, "Why did they even give him a job in the first place?" You saw what he did all those years with the Cowboys. So yeah,
Yeah.
after all those games, there was a bit of some waivers and releases. I know Adrian Peterson is out of the Titans. Um, Garrett is out of New York.
Oh, he got released. He got cut.
Got waived today.
He got waived after a 3-game stint.
Oh,
And,
man.
and the Texans, they waived Philip Lindsay. So
Oh,
I'll get
wow.
y'all's opinions on some of the better takeaways from the weekend. What was some favorite things you saw, and and results from that. Coach Tosco, any thoughts on what you liked or something notable from this weekend that you enjoyed?
Did I enjoy anything over this weekend? It was not great. It was a horrible state of football. But but I will say the Patriots, Bill Belichick is probably going to go down as the best coach ever because he just knows
Yeah.
how to get the best out of his players and set them up for success. Whoever's in there, whoever they got, where they will be in the mix because of Bill Belichick. We're starting to see, is Josh Allen a fraud? Or maybe not a fraud, but what's going on with Josh Allen? Because he is regressing. And some people may say, what are you talking about? He did this, he did that. His players didn't help him out, tips and tipped interceptions. And I'm like, yes, but that wasn't the right person to throw the ball to. Like, sure, the guy should have caught it, but at the same time, he's just missing some wide open things. And he's not making right decisions. So that's something that should be very troublesome. Justin Herbert is the real deal. His team needs to be better. The Titans need reinforcements because they're not going to make it with all those injuries. The Colts are going to end up catching them up with Jonathan Taylor. The Texans, but see, I didn't even see, just seeing the beginning of the game, I knew the Texans had a chance to win. Tyrod Taylor's back, their starting quarterback, the guy that knows better, that was prepared to be the starter, knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Rain.
He's
Always rain.
He's a journeyman.
Yeah, rain. And then the receivers from the Titans getting hurt. So, it was right away. You can see Ryan Tannehill not making smart decisions. The Texans, if you were watching the game, you said Texans probably going to take this one because they were in the game. They were more explosive. They were more excited. They had that juice to win the game. But I still think the Titans, they need reinforcements. They're in a division that's not that difficult to win. But on the NFC, I don't understand how the Cardinals keep on winning with their defense so bad.
Dude, that's like the mystery.
I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Dude, honestly, they're gonna mess around and get the number 1 seed. Honestly.
Yeah, no, and you're right. And my thing is like, if you look at that defense, it's bad.
Adrian, where's Adrian at? Where's Adrian at?
I said it from the beginning. I said it before the season. They're not going to be good because of that defense. Defense started out playing good, awesome. They won all these games. Now all their guys are hurt, and then they have Colt McCoy coming in here.
The legend.
The legend.
Put some respect on their name.
And he's 2-1. Like, yes. What the fuck is going on here?
Running it in. He's being Vince Young over here.
It's because of Connor, running back Connor. Dude's a beast.
And
fantasy points wise.
And some of these wins that are happening, like, I don't understand how the 49ers have 5 wins. Like, everybody, if you look
against
at
good teams, dude, against good teams too.
And they lost 5 wins against shitty teams. And it's like, I don't understand that. Like, and every week Vegas has the Niners as favorites. The Niners are going to be in a close game every single week. You look at the Lions, you're like, how is this possible? Against good teams, they're good. Against bad teams, they're bad. That's not the way it's supposed to work. The Rams are not complete. The Rams are not complete. The Cowboys are not complete.
No.
The Packers are not
That's
complete.
what I'm saying. The NFC is like a lot more open than people realize. It's
And
not.
to look at these,
It's
and to look at
competitive,
these
but
divisions,
damn.
looking at these divisions, like the Buccaneers are 7-3, cool. But like the Saints, the Panthers, and the Falcons are all like a game or two behind. Like, how is this? I don't understand how the Saints won 5 games. Looking at the way they played against the Eagles, how did that team win 5 games? I don't understand. Looking at the Panthers, looking at them playing, I don't understand how they won 5 games. Like that team should be back.
Bro, the Vikings, dude.
The Vikings have 5 wins. You look at their wins, they win good teams. Again, losing against a bad team. I don't understand. Like this year is just it's just mind bending.
Dude, and it's crazy
But
because like I saw what's this on ESPN. They're like, dude, the Patriots on the other side, they're gonna mess around, dude, to win this Super Bowl.
nah, they won't because no, they won't. I think we gotta remember this is one of the things that we're 10 games in, 11 games in for some, but you gotta remember, one, this year they're playing an extra game. Two, there's only one first round bye, not 2 teams. There's only one.
Yeah.
Now you're playing more. These guys are gonna have to play a longer season, more wear and tear on their bodies, more of, especially when they're in a division that they're in where they're gonna have to play their players all the way to the last game to make sure they get a spot. They're gonna be competing. So you're gonna see this is where the teams that have depth, the teams that don't have so many injuries, this is where they're gonna rise up to the top because they're gonna be able to last and they're not gonna come in tired, they're not gonna come in hurt. They're gonna come in, they're gonna last, and they're gonna be ready to go. And that's what usually happens towards the end of the year. The teams that are more complete, the teams that have depth, the teams that have players that can come in and out, that are being rotated in, those are the teams that are going to be higher. And those are the teams that are going to last longer. And you'll see it because even in like last year or years past, when the Titans and the Ravens, they go in, the Ravens lose. But the Ravens are the better team. How's that happening? Well, yeah, they might have better overall players, but they don't have a complete team. And the Titans are more complete, and and it happens every year. Chiefs beating the Browns, last year. Browns probably should have won that game.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs were more complete. Mahomes went down. Chad Henne came in ready to go. Check down Chad.
Oh, real. That was random.
But because they have a guy that they can trust to come in and get the job done. How many teams have a Chad Henne? Not a lot. So, it's things like that you're going to have to see once we get closer to the end, where you're going to see, the difference between the teams that are complete and the teams that need a couple of players here and there to make that playoff push. But I mean, I feel that if you look at the standings, every division has a clear-cut leader. Probably the only one that doesn't is in the AFC, all 3 of them, they're all just a game behind. But realistically, like the Chiefs are going to pull away. The Chargers are going to be there, but they're going to pull away. The Patriots, I don't know if they're going to win the division.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're on a 5-game winning streak, dude.
But yes, but look at who they played again.
All right.
They played the Jets. Automatic win. They played the Chargers. Okay, that's a good team. Good win. Played the Panthers. Garbage. Played the Browns. Garbage. Played the Falcons. Garbage. So, yeah, don't get me wrong. The Browns.
Shut out the Falcons. God dang.
But again, the Browns are good, but this is the Browns without Nick Chubb, without Kareem Hunt.
Ooh, they play the Titans. This that's gonna be a good game.
But again, this is what we're gonna see. They haven't played the Bills, so
they're gonna play them twice.
So that's the division. right there. They play the Titans, they play the Bills, they play the Colts, they play the Bills. That right there is going to tell you who's going to win the division. After these next 4 games, right? Whoever, if they can beat the Bills at least once, they're going to win the division. But again, and look at the Bills. The Bills play the Saints. They should win this game. They play the Patriots. They play the Bucks. Then they play the Panthers. That should be a win, but then they play the Patriots again. But then the Bills end up with the Falcons and the Jets. That should be another 2 wins. So you see what I'm saying? Like,
it's a longer season. It's a long season, dude.
Yeah, and the Patriots have played more crappier teams up until now, and so yeah, they have a 1-game advantage. They won 5 in a row, but again, we haven't seen the hard part of their schedule. So
yeah,
it's coming up.
The best opponents.
All right. Best opponents.
Since we're running a little bit late, let's kind of just start to wrap up things. Real quick, Coach Doska, we have our Cowboys in the Thanksgiving night, Thanksgiving afternoon rather, matchup against the Raiders. What do the Cowboys need to win? What are the keys? What are the keys they need to have for that game?
And then after that, just so we can just give your aspirations to our. If the Cowboys can actually go to the Super Bowl this year.
Well, I think the Cowboys are 7-3 right now, and they're being bit by the injury bug bad right now. CeeDee Lamb's hurt. Amari Cooper has COVID. Zeke has an ankle sprain. We don't know if he's going to play. We still don't have Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory got hurt. DeMarcus Lawrence should be coming back within this next week, couple of weeks. And so, I think the Cowboys, they play the Raiders Thanksgiving, then they play the Saints Thursday night again. So we have 2 back-to-back Thursdays. I think if the Cowboys just win one of these games, doesn't matter which one, as long as they win one, we're in good shape. We'll go into 8-4 into the part of the schedule that's going to decide the division, because we're going to play Redskins. We're going to play Washington, not the Redskins, Washington. We play Washington, we play New York, and then we play Washington again.
Yeah.
So if we can come up with 2 out of those 3, we're already at 10 wins. Then we play the Cardinals and the Eagles. So, again, if we get one of those, we're at 11 wins. That's the division. I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to catch up.
No.
Because, yeah, they do have a little bit of an easier schedule. The Eagles just have division opponents. They play the Giants, then they play the Jets, gimme. Then they play the Redskins, the Giants, the Redskins, the Cowboys. So the Eagles, the Eagles need to win all of them basically, because if you think about it, they win these 6 games, right? If they win 6 games, that includes the one against the Cowboys. They have to win them all. They'll get to 11, right? That's how they get to 11. The Cowboys all we're saying is the Cowboys need to win a few more, right? So that's going to be the difference. Now, I don't think the Eagles are going to win all of these. I think they're going to lose one against the Giants, and I think they'll lose one against the Redskins. Yeah. People are saying, they beat the Saints, they beat the Broncos beat up on the Cowboys. Yes, but remember, the Broncos have the 2 things the Cowboys are really bad against. Cowboys are really bad against the run, and the Cowboys are not that great against a good secondary. We saw that against Kansas City. Saw that against the Broncos. Okay? The Cowboys, if the Broncos have a really good secondary, shut down our receivers, couldn't do anything. I don't know why we didn't run the ball more, but besides the point, they ran it down our throats. That's why they won. The Eagles have a good secondary, right? They have a pretty decent defense. They stopped their run, and on the other side, the Eagles ran the ball. They didn't throw the ball to win the game, so they ran against the Broncos, and they won. The Saints are playing with Trevor Siemian. Don't give me that bullshit. All right? The Cowboys should beat the Saints very easily next week also. So It's just that's what it's going to be, and I think the Cowboys are going to win the division. They're going to win 11 games, win the division, and go to the playoffs. I don't think they'll be a top seed, but I mean, they played the Chiefs. I thought this was going to be a good benchmark of where they are, and even if you think about it, not making any excuses, they were down CeeDee Lamb at halftime. No Amari Cooper. Zeke Elliott had an ankle sprain. Our defense, Michael Parsons, is going to be a stud. Once we get a defense set up that's not as volatile, they haven't played in the right spot. Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence are back. That's just going to make Michael Parsons so much better. So even at that, we lost by 10. We lost by 10. Defense held as much as they could. There was a lot of bend, don't break, and they bent hard on some of them. But offensively, it wasn't there, and that's what we needed. Dak wasn't on his game. And if Dak's on his game, this outcome would have probably been different again this past Sunday. But again, it was a good benchmark. It's the Chiefs. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. It's basically the same team. And to some degree, we held our own a little bit. I wish that if those drives would have ended in touchdowns, if 2 of them ended in touchdowns instead of field goals, it would have been 17-19. We were right there. But again, we didn't have some of our main weapons. But this Thursday, I do think we are the better team than the Raiders. We should beat the Raiders. But we're down a lot of key guys again. We need to run the ball, and we'll be fine.
All right.
Nice.
Sounds like it's the running game that we need to. There's some feedback. There we go. All right, Cowboys running game. Yeah, I think Cowboys short turnaround between that loss. Pretty much almost in the next 48 hours. What? I mean, not to be exact. It's on Thursday, early Thursday, mind you. It's gonna be weird. I mean, early Thursday game, Thanksgiving. By the way, I'm sure y'all got some good Thanksgiving plans for family and friends. We're trying to figure out what the hell we're gonna do. If we don't do a Thursday episode, maybe we'll try to do like I don't know, a little segment or something. We'll keep you all posted on that. But if we don't get the chance to see y'all, obviously happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Have fun, be safe, enjoy the family and friends, good food, and some good football. What? Just out of curiosity, who else is playing on Thanksgiving Day besides Cowboys?
It is
Um,
the Bears versus the Lions,
I was
so
like,
that's
oh,
going to be a stinker.
the-
The Cowboys versus the Raiders,
Yeah.
and then we have the Chargers,
Oh,
I believe, going up against Chargers. No, wait, not the
no,
Chargers.
Bill Saints. Bill Saints.
Bill Saints.
okay, but that's
Another
that's decent.
snoozer. So
Yeah, basically.
hopefully the college football will be a lot better and/or the NBA. So
Amen, brother.
Let's
Okay.
see, yeah, for college football, just so you guys know, the college football games for Thursday, if my computer loads up on time, which obviously we always know that the internet doesn't. Oh my god!
there's only one. Devastation.
Really?
Yeah, it's Mississippi Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. That's the Egg Bowl.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. So that's gonna be kind of should be Dak's alma mater. So there we go. That's something to kind of watch. But obviously, we'll be on. Yeah, except
I'm sorry.
What?
No, I was just gonna say I think there's more actually. I just looked at the top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's Fresno State, San Jose State, and no, I think that's it.
That's probably So let's see. So yeah, Fresno State at San Jose
San
State.
Jose. Yeah.
Obviously Raiders are gonna play. Ole Miss against Mississippi State.
Yeah, and then Buffalo, New Orleans.
Yeah. So
we'll see how that goes.
yeah, it should be all right. It should be pretty interesting. But all right, guys, we'll go ahead and definitely check those guys. Check that out. We might actually just do a quick special right before those games starts in the afternoon. We'll probably maybe just do like a 30-45 minute special where we, kind of do some Thanksgiving themed sports stuff. Definitely getting ready for not just the college football games, the NFL games, but just like for the big dinner that day, and also with our family, something to kind of see, laugh about, and definitely join us on that. I'll let you guys know as we continue posting on all our social media. But we will go ahead and start wrapping it up. Dosco, any last thoughts on just anything sports?
Just a big shout out to the Atlanta Braves,
Ooh, here we go.
ATL, baby.
2021 champions. All right, I wasn't here to celebrate it with you boys, but here now. Got the merch. We're very excited about the upcoming season. I hope we re-sign Freddie Freeman. I mean, we have a lot of young guys. We have a lot of power coming back, and we had arguably our best player throughout the season coming back in Ronald Acuna because he tore his ACL in July. So he's gonna come back off the injury, and yeah, it's the future's bright for Atlanta, and hoping we continue. And our best pitcher is also coming back, but we did not have the whole year. So we're getting two of our best players back this season. So hopefully we'll be able to load up and maybe go for a repeat.
Excellent. Congrats again to the Atlanta Braves on season well done. All right. Dan, any other closing arguments from your end?
Nah, we're good. Let's go ahead and start wrapping it up. Hold on. Let me just see. There you go. There's that song. Alright, guys. Go ahead and put your hands up and say thank you for this episode for today. Hope y'all chill with us next time. Again, for today, we're super fan art. We do have a Tosco for today. Obviously, we all love our coach. It's been a while, but go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, YouTube Live also as well. We're going to start off following our podcast. Check us out. It's coming soon on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and Spotify, and iHeartRadio coming soon. Thank you so much for our sponsors, Studio 13th Day. It's Danny BMD here with Tosco Superfan Art signing off. Laters, I'll bring it home, Art, and thank you guys so much for following us today. I know we went a little late, but you guys know you love us. All right, go for it, Art.
Thank you, Dan. The lesson of the day is fighting is really not acceptable in basketball. So maybe LeBron needs to challenge little boxing match against Jake Paul or Logan Paul. I know, that's stupid. Promotional consideration brought to you by Devil Dog Detailing. If you're out there in the San Antonio area and you want your car's interior looking brand new, this guy's gonna work like a dog for you. That's Devil Dog Detailing. Devil Dog! Remember, sports are great, but mean nothing without y'all, the fans. Episode number 82. Until next time, folks, be cool, stay safe, and keep on listening to Mezzo Forte Sportz.
Yeah.
Whee! ATL, baby. Yeah, big round of applause for Coach Tosco after that long hiatus. We rescheduled his contract and he'll show up once every few months.
It's in the contract. It's in the details.
As it will never waive him. He's back. He's back from he's back
From the hiatus.
his hiatus.
Boom.
It's because his wife was texting his videos that we didn't play him more, so he had to move to a new team.
That was good, boys.
Division 2 for a little bit. All right.
Yeah. Have to drop down, transfer back in